Mental health is a huge problem. Earlier, what I'm
problem.
talking about falling into depression, for me, being the person, I have very high bubbly personality, very, excited person. I couldn't recognize who I became when I was very much down. And I think a large part of that is because we are so attached to our gadgets. You see someone else's life, you're easy to compare your life to other people's. There are so many beautiful people you can see on the internet now that you won't see in your own neighborhood, right? So people are hooked. I mean, pornography addiction is huge, right? And it's important to kind of talk about these things because we don't get to see what we've been given in our life from a partner. We get to see what else is out there so much more now than ever before. Before you watch a TV program or you read a magazine or whatever, but now that's not the case. So I'm kind of talking about this. I understand that like mental health is one of the biggest problems today. And it continues to be because we don't know the balance between how much time we should be on our gadgets versus how much time should we be spending off the gadgets or away from them and incorporating our real, life responsibilities and everything else. So that's why I bring up, like what I think the tips that what you recommend, I guess, around keeping your marriage healthy. I guess one of them, my mind, is like Wives' Day for sure. Keeping technology away. Maybe instead of once a year, it should be once a month, or maybe once every 2 weeks or something. Because it seems like it's because of how much information we can take in one day has grown exponentially, I would say, in the last 10 or 15 years, especially with the advances of YouTube and Facebook and things like this. You can, in any single day, you can consume so much data that you couldn't do any other time, right? So I think we have to detox as much as we consume.
That is where actually what actually is. There are two things in our school of psychology. We call it pleasure and pain. No, a person who has gone through a pain will think about relationship. A person who has gone through a failure will think about it. The clients who come to me, I talk to my clients. Suppose you recommend a couple to me, I don't take them immediately. I ask them. I talk to husband separately. I talk to wife separately. Then I ask them, what do you expect from me? Then I tell them what are the 10 painful incidents of your right to me. The moment when they are writing that, that means they are committed.
Mm-hmm.
When there are many cases they come, they inquire, because what actually you are also asking, the old school of counseling, the traditional school of counseling is only an sort of an academic counseling, or it is a sort of a research counseling. It is not an application psychology.
Mm.
That is the reason most people doesn't believe in counseling, because an application is not an application psychology. Whereas the school of psychology which I have gone through is I ask them to give an email. Once they give email, then only I talk about my money. Until then, I don't charge anything. Because pain is a must. If the pain is not there, he will not improve. Two things. One, pain. Second is introspection. That is the reason I tell them homework is a must. Every session you should have a homework. No homework, no counseling. So these are the two methods where afterward they come, and we go through a 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year project where every 3 months, that is because what happened, the 3 months is long dude. It's called mentoring and not coaching counseling. Counseling is something like a standalone. I advise you go out. Coaching is the difference between coaching and coaching is counseling is a rescue operation. A person is drowning and bring him to the present, to the shore. That is counseling. He's forgetting, he is a victim to some addiction, so he get compelled to do that. So I counsel him and bring him to present. Coaching is taking a normal person, take him to forward. Coaching is to try taking goal setting, help him out. I do mentoring. What is mentoring? Mentoring is coaching, counseling, and training. So here I am like a gardener. I am not like a hunter. Coaching and counseling is hunter. Hunt, get the meat. That is a standalone thinking they are giving. And moreover, this is an outpatient treatment. Something like you come to my clinic, I tell them, you take the homework, go back. And you don't ask him a homework.
Mm-hmm.
Homework is a must. Mine is a gardener model. I take something like I take the seed, I nurture them, and at the end I give them. This is what. And I take them for about 3 months contract. And every day, early in the morning, they get up 5 o'clock, the 5 a.m. club. Physical, there are 4 needs: physical need, mental need, So physical need, the mental need, the emotional need, the spiritual need. These four needs are different. Not all, every person is not having one. The four needs are different. We work on that. Then after the mind programming, also what actually happens, the painful incident which you're telling, why any painful incident is happening is because you're thinking like a rehearsal. Every time you think about it, think about it, think about it. It's like n number of times you do the rehearsal, that becomes the final. Or you get the point. So I ask them to think in a reverse way. That is where mind programming takes place. All thing is we done that. Before anything, we ran that. It will happen. I'll go and tell sorry for him. I'll do like this. You run the movie and come and execute the finals. So this becomes a habit. You become a program. You don't become a programmer. Early in the morning, you have to get up. Why we say no gadgets? Because once the moment you're responding to gadget, you are having a reactive life.
Right.
So no gadgets in the morning. First 1 hour, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., no gadgets in the morning. Be proactive. Physical, what you have to do. Mental, what you write down your goals, write down your value, gratitude journals in front of me. Now I got 3 couples who are doing it online. 2 are from the West Coast only. Early in the morning. That is, mine is 5 p.m. Theirs is 5 a.m. So what happens? Once you seize the morning, the whole day is seized to you. There is also we meet diary. That every week compulsory meeting. That is we time, not me time. We time, Nimi time,
like
Mimi
that.
time, and Jane time. You'd have a we diary. My client, my assistant will ask, have you bought that diary? Sir, I have not bought. Please go and get it. So diary is a must. What has happened? Why did it happen? It's not that you have to agree everything, whatever she says. You may agree, you may disagree, no problem. And sometimes what happens, suppose there is a difference, we do a role play. What do you expect then? So we do a role play, and I tell them, okay, do you give a 10 by 10 marks for that? Yeah, she said no. So I'll tell you one example. So she told, her every time when this is a common thing. So whenever I talk to him, he's having his mobile. I told him, okay, execute. So she started talking. This guy started picking his mobile and talking. Sir, see, every time he's having a mobile. So what is that you want? Let him keep the mobile down. Let him keep the mobile down. Then only I will give 10 by 10 marks. Even though his comprehension is correct, he wants her to. That was one thing. Okay, every time point about keep the mobile down. Whenever your wife is talking, keep the mobile down. I'm not telling it's possible or not possible. Then I ask them the next, what is that you want your wife? Sir, early in the morning, she's having a bad habit of keeping all the hair untidy. So I want her to be tidy way. This is what I want her. So I told her, lay down on the table and play that game. So she did like this. He told, I don't want that. I want it like this. He has got specific way the hair should be tighter. So the expectations of the husband should be met by the wife. Expectations of the wife, because after all, you're living for what?
For sure. Right. Yes.
Are you gonna do my hair now?
Okay, I'll do your hair. No problem.